horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo Silver, the Lone Ranger. With his faithful Indian companion Tonto, the masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early western United States. The stories of his strength and courage, his daring and resourcefulness have come down to us through the generations. And nowhere in the pages of history can one find a greater champion of justice. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. From out of the past and the thundering hoofbeats of the great horse Silver, the Lone Ranger rides again.
Come on, Silver! Hurry, big fellow! I'll Silver! Away!
In a secluded camp beside a small stream, Tonto, Indian companion of the Lone Ranger, and the latter's nephew, Dan Reed, amused themselves while awaiting the return of the masked rider. Tonto had spent the afternoon making up Dan as an Indian, and as a finishing touch had cleverly painted the head of a buffalo on Dan's forearm.
Golly, Tonto, I didn't know you could draw pictures like that. That's a swell buffalo head you painted on my arm.
And that make you good Indian.
I don't understand. What do you mean, good Indian?
That sign of Mucho Grande.
Ah, that's some more of your tall tales. I'll bet it doesn't mean anything. You just wanted to paint a picture on me, I'll bet.
No, that secret sign.
Secret, eh? Well, how'd you know about it?
Dan, you not laugh. You ask Lone Ranger about sign of Mucho Grande.
Well, I look like an Indian boy anyway, from moccasins on my feet to colored feathers on my head.
Tonto looked like that one boy.
Did you, sure enough?
Ah.
I wish I could take a look at myself with this stain on my face and the feathers on my head.
You see. Come.
Where you going?
Come. Down by stream. You see self in water.
Say, that is an idea. I never thought of that.
Oh, Victor.
What's the matter with him?
Him not know you.
Victor didn't know me in this Indian getup. Fooled Victor.
Him know you now. Victor, hear your voice.
Yeah, it's me, Victor. Easy, boy, easy.
Victor think Dan strange Indian. Come, Dan.
Here's a pool that's still.
And you look in water, see self.
Hey, I don't even know myself. Golly, Tonto, where'd you learn all this?
Indian just know how.
Golly, I'll say Indians know how. Why, I'll bet the Lone Ranger couldn't tell me from a real Indian boy.
Well, you soon find out. Want to see Lone Ranger and Silver come now. Victor, hear 'em.
Yeah, here they come. Tonto, let's fool the Lone Ranger. Let's pretend I'm an Indian boy. Maybe a friend of yours, huh?
Good. We do it.
Come on, let's get back up to the camp.
Now, you keep mouth shut. Let Tonto talk.
Sure. Now, don't you give me away, Tonto.
Oh, Silver, oh, big fella. Oh, easy now. Oh, Kemosabe, me glad you come back.
Steady, big fella. What's the trouble, Tonto?
Kemosabe, You see Dan?
What? Did I see Dan? Oh, what's happened? Where is Dan?
Dan disappear. Tonto not find him.
Now, I wonder where Dan could have gone.
Maybe wolf eat him up.
No.
Maybe Indian boy here bring Dan's boots back to camp. Here, boots.
Certainly looks like it, Tonto. The wolf must have eaten him right out of his boots. By the way, what's this Indian boy's name?
Boy, what's your name?
Speak up, son. Don't be afraid.
Tell Lone Ranger your name, boy.
Silver seemed to know him very well.
Silver hunt sugar in boy's pocket. Maybe Indian boy wear Dan's shirt. And maybe Tonto scalp him, huh?
Get away, Silver. Get away.
Why, it's Dan.
Silver know him all right, huh?
Aw, why couldn't Silver keep his big nose out of...
Out of your sugar pocket? Dan, you might be able to fool Tonto and me, but not Silver.
I'll bet if it hadn't been for him... Sir, are you sure you didn't know who I was all the time?
Well, truthfully, Dan, you'd pass for an Indian boy anywhere. In fact, right at this moment, I wish you didn't resemble...
Well, I'm sorry, sir.
Oh, that's
didn't.
all right, Dan. I know you and Tonto were only having a little fun. But at the moment, it would be much better if you were just plain Dan Reed.
I don't understand, sir.
We must break camp at once.
Oh, what trouble, Kemosabe?
I thought when we came into this territory, Tonto, renegade Indians and whites are plotting trouble. I stopped at the mission earlier today. The padre there told me that some of the Indian tribes in this vicinity are trying to get guns. Well, if they do, an attack will be made on the white settlers who have moved into Mission Valley.
That'd be bad. Where Indians get guns?
There's a man named Trigger who heads a band of gun runners. The padre tells me that Trigger is back of the whole scheme.
Me remember Trigger.
Yes, Tonto. We crossed trails with him once before, near the Rio Grande. He left the country with the cavalry hard at his heels.
This Trigger's a killer.
Then, I'm sorry. You can't go with Tonto and me this time.
I can't. I won't get into trouble, sir.
I'm sorry, Dan. It's too dangerous.
You say you're breaking camp, sir. Where'll I go if I can't go with you and Tonto?
That's why your Indian makeup right at this particular time is rather unfortunate.
Unfortunate?
Yes. You see, I told the padre at the mission that I would send you there to stay until Tonto and I returned.
Oh. And maybe he wouldn't be expecting an Indian boy.
That's right. I gave him a good description of you. You'd be expecting a boy like that.
Kemosabe. Me wash stain off Dan. Him change clothes.
Oh, never mind, Tonto. I'll give Dan a silver bullet. Now, Dan, when you arrive at the mission, give the bullet to the padre. That will convince him as to who you are.
If he knows you, sir, he'll understand I'm really Dan Reed.
And that'd be good. Padre knows silver bullet.
Then ride east until you come to the river. Then turn left and follow the river to the mission.
I should make it by about sundown.
Yes, you should. Tonto, you and I will ride south to the Thunder Range foothills.
Come, Victor.
We look for Trigger there?
Yes. I have information that leads me to believe he's hiding out there.
Oh, Victor. Steady, boy, while I tighten your cinch.
Dan, go on to mission. We break camp, huh?
Yes, that's right, Tonto. Dan, don't lose any time. It's getting late.
Yes, sir. I'll be going now.
Adios, Dan.
Goodbye, sir. Goodbye, Tonto.
Adios.
Come on, Victor.
As Dan Reed and Victor approached the river, the boy saw two men frantically trying to drive a team and wagon from the quicksand into which they'd driven while attempting to cross.
Victor, those men are in trouble. We better see if we can help get that wagon out of the quicksand. Come on, let's go. Ho, Victor. Ho, boy, ho. Hey, may I help you?
Yeah, you sure can, Indian. Just toss that lariat out this way. We'll tie it onto the wagon. Then you make horse move.
All right, I'll try it. Watch it. Here it comes. You got it?
Yeah, I made it, Indian. Gotta get it tied at this end. Rope tight now. Make horse move.
Steady, Victor. Now, easy, boy. Up. Get your team moving now.
Get on there. Get
Come on.
Get
Come on.
Get
Up, boy.
Moving all right, Indian.
Here they come. Good boy, Victor. They've made it. All together now, and I'll have you up the bank pronto. Come on, Victor. Come on. Up.
Hey, I reckon we're making it now.
Oh, Victor. Oh, boy. Oh.
Get up there.
Guess we saved those horses and men that time. Another 5 minutes, they'd have been smothered up in the quicksand.
Oh, lucky you came along, Indian.
Golly, you got a load on that wagon. Why didn't you throw your cargo over?
I ain't throwing none of this cargo over, Indian. It's too valuable.
Well, it wouldn't have been of any value to you if I hadn't happened along. You'd all have been down in the quicksand by now.
Listen, Indian, I don't need none of your lip. Sure you helped us out. What of it?
Him talk English too good.
What's that? Yeah, that's right. Say, Indian, where'd you get that Texas saddle? Ain't never knowed Indian boys to ride them things.
Guess I better be going. Come on, Victor.
No, you don't.
Hey, turn Victor loose. We gotta get to the mission.
Me pull him off horse.
Hey, you let go of me. You got no...
To take a look at you. Me hold him.
Listen, kid. You ain't no Indian.
I didn't say I was.
What's the idea of masquerading as a redskin? Huh? Come on, answer
Oh,
up.
I was just pretending. Let me go.
Easy now, kid. Maybe you're telling the truth, and then again, maybe you're... Reed, look at this.
Hey, that's mine. Give it back to me.
Bullet in pocket.
Yeah, bullet. Kid, where'd you get this?
It was given to me by a friend.
Oh, a friend, huh? Well, listen, kid, there ain't but one man I know who uses silver bullets in his gun.
Man with mask. Him use silver bullet. Trigger know him well.
You're Trigger, the gun runner.
As if you didn't know right along. Now just take this little trinket to remember you by, kid. Yeah, to remember you by.
Hey, look to west.
Horseman. So that's it. You was going to lead us into a trap, huh, kid?
I don't know those horsemen. I tell you, I was on my way to the mission.
Reed, we got to get out of here in pronto. Cut one of those horses loose from the wagon. I'll take the kid's nag for myself. You ride the one you cut loose.
Me cut kid's throat.
No. I got a better idea than that. If that riding party's who I think it is, them horsemen will be mighty interested to find the Lone Ranger's friend mixed up with a wagon load of guns in Indian territory.
You can't take Victor on.
Can I?
Oh!
Knock him out.
Now, come on, Breed. Let's get out of here, and quick. Get boy. Get on there.
What a shot that crook laid on my jaw. Golly. I am in a fix now. Indians. I'm not an Indian.
What you do here?
A couple of crooks knocked me out and took my horse.
You lie. You gun runner.
Wagon got many guns.
I'm no gun runner. That wagon belongs to a crook named Trigger. He and a breed were bringing guns in.
Guns for bad Indian. We know. Una de ki so dani.
Oh, come on, hey. Why you look like Indian?
I was just pretending I was an Indian.
That lie. You friend of Trigger, gun runner.
Honest, Chief,
Me make 'em tell truth. You tell 'em, Chief. Trigger and Breed.
Ouch! Let go of me! Hey, ouch! You're tearing my shirt
Me
sleeve.
fix 'em. Hey, come here, hello.
Kito kitom.
You better turn me loose. You almost twisted my arm out of the socket.
Where you get buffalo head?
Huh? Oh, this buffalo head on my arm? An Indian friend of mine. He painted it on my arm today.
La dinuika.
Kamahe, Hamaha.
Sidana omo.
Samakohe, Hamadura.
Where you go?
I was going to the mission when I got into trouble with those two gun runners.
Sidana omo.
Oh, come here. You come with me.
Hey, where are you taking me? Let me go.
You go with
You
Indian.
better turn me loose. I've got to get to the mission.
The curtain falls on the first act of our Lone Ranger story. Before the next exciting scenes, please permit us to pause for just a few moments. Now, to continue our story. Dan Reed, nephew of the Lone Ranger, found himself in trouble when he helped two notorious gun runners out of a quicksand trap as he was going to a nearby mission. The sudden arrival of a party of Indians caused the gun runners to flee, taking Dan's horse Victor and leaving Dan at the mercy of the Redskins. In the meantime, the Lone Ranger and Tonto came upon the scene of Dan's capture.
Oh, Silver, hold on.
Oh, Scout. Oh, fella.
Easy,
Oh,
steady
oh,
now.
fella.
Something happened here, all right, Tonto.
Many sign, huh?
Yes, there's plenty of signs.
Me see track a wagon.
Must have been Trigger's wagon, loaded with guns.
And it go that way.
Over here are tracks of two horses. They're shod. So they were horses of white men.
Maybe Trigger and friend, huh?
Very likely. Over there are tracks of many horses.
Indian horses. Them not wear shoes.
Right. No sign of Dan's horse, but his tracks may have been covered by that band of Indians going north with the wagon.
Indians take wagon?
Well, as I figured out, Tonto, Trigger and that breed who travels with him delivered the guns to the Indians here. Then Trigger and their breed went that way. The Indians with the guns headed up the river toward the mission.
What we do now?
Chief Big Bear is our only hope now, Tonto.
Him good friend. Chief Big Bear not want trouble with white man.
There's no use following Trigger now. He's disposed of his guns. There's no use following the Indians.
No?
No, there are too many of them. However, it'll take them some time to distribute their guns to their followers. That may help us. We'll ride to Chief Big Bear immediately. We may be able to prevent the renegade Indians from attacking the settlers in Mission Valley.
Me know where village of Chief Big Bear is.
Good. Come on, Silver.
Get him up, Scout.
Meanwhile, at the mission, the Padre listened to an interesting story.
And, Padre, I was half scared to death when the Indian chief told one of his braves to take me away.
That is just like Chief Big Bear. He's one Indian with a sense of humor. I can see him now, watching you put up such a fight when all the time he knew he was sending you here to me.
Well, it wasn't funny to me, Padre. But I can't understand one thing.
What is it, Dan?
Well, when the Indians came up, they acted tough until one of them looked at the thing I have on my arm. And, well, they seemed to change, sort of friendly.
Well, let me see that arm, Dan.
Sure, Padre. Look, Tonto painted it on there himself.
Oh, now I understand everything. No wonder Chief Big Bear and his Indians brought you here.
I don't understand.
Oh, the sign of the buffalo head.
Yes, I know it's a buffalo head. But is there anything special about it?
Very special, Dan. And undoubtedly that is the reason Tonto put it there. He wanted to ensure your personal safety.
Oh, gee, how could a little old picture like this...
It's much more than a picture, my son. For many years, the sign of the buffalo head has been a symbol of trust and friendship between the white man and the Indian.
I don't understand.
A great part of this mighty country we call the West is unmapped and unexplored. Someday it will become an important portion of the greatest nation on earth. But no nation can become truly great until there is permanent peace among all its people.
Is that what this symbol means?
Several years ago, two men founded a society to bring understanding, friendship, and above all, peace to our frontier. Well, naturally, such a society had to be a secret one, and it still is. The talisman, the sign by which all men may know their true friends, is the sign of the buffalo head.
Golly. Then, if it's on my arm, it means that I...
You are a member of a brave and mighty organization, my son. And I know you will prove worthy of the trust.
Golly. The sign of the buffalo head.
You should be very proud.
I am, but there's just one thing you haven't told me, Padre.
Yes?
The two men who founded this secret society. Who were they?
They are almost as famous as the sign you bear on your arm. Their names are Kit Carson and the Lone Ranger. Oh, come in. Oh, it is you, Juan.
Si, Padre. Two visitors have arrived.
Visitors? At this time of night?
Si, Padre. One wears a mask.
Mask, you say?
Maybe it's the Lone Ranger. He said he'd come by here for me, Padre.
Masked man say, give this to Padre.
What is it? A silver bullet.
Sure, that's the Lone Ranger. He's the only one who has silver bullets,
To
Padre.
be sure. Well, Juan, send the gentleman in.
Si, Padre. At once.
You don't have to send me in. I'm already in.
Who are you?
That's Trigger, the gun runner.
Out of the way, you get...
You hit Juan.
Yes,
You-
he...
Well, if it ain't the little button himself. Well, well, this is a surprise.
Crook. You used that bullet you took off me to get in here.
Sure I did. I used my head to get places.
Where's my horse, Victor?
He's outside, Button. Pretty good horse there. A little fractious at first, but I've rode mean nags before.
What is the meaning of this intrusion?
Yeah, Padre. I reckon you would like to know, now wouldn't you? As if you didn't know.
The guns.
That's right, the guns. You see, me and the breed backtracked after the Redskins jumped us down the river. We trailed them right to the mission. I knew all along somebody was tipping off old Chief Big Bear about my doings, but I didn't know till now it was you, Padre.
What are you going to do about it?
Well, my main purpose is to take them guns the Redskins brought here and left with you. And then I'm going to make certain you and the Button there don't cause me any more trouble.
You don't dare, Trigger.
No? Hey, Breed.
Yeah?
Bring in a good stout lariat. We're going to tie some fancy knots for the Padre and the Button.
Well, Chief Big Bear, I'm glad we came to you first. I was afraid that the wagon load of guns had gotten into the hands of renegades.
My braves take guns to mission. Padre him keep till soldiers from fort come get 'em.
The Padre's a good man. I also want to thank you, Chief, for seeing that Dan was escorted safely to the mission.
Dan very scared boy. Him not know Indian friendly to white boy.
I can understand that, Chief.
Padre think him Indian boy. Me tell him Dan your friend.
We go now, Kimasabi?
Yes, Tonto. We should reach the mission by daybreak. Long as Trigger's at large, there's going to be trouble between the white man and Indians in this territory. The quicker we get on his trail, the better.
Here, Scout.
Here, Silver. Well, we'll see you again, Chief.
Chief Big Bear welcome Masked Man and Tonto.
Steady, Silver.
Easy, Scout, easy.
Come on, Silver.
Get him up, Scout.
At the mission, Dan and the Padre had been securely bound by Trigger and the breed. They were seated in an upright position beside the patio wall, while Trigger squatted before him and busied himself with his knife. The breed watched Trigger impatiently.
Pretty soon, sun come up. We better leave now.
Now, Breed, don't rush me. Them settlers down in the valley don't get up too early anyhow. And I ain't finished my job here yet. Now, Button, you see this silver bullet? It's pretty, ain't it?
Oh, shut up, you big coward.
I had to make it fit this here cartridge. See, like this. Fits my shell perfect now, don't it?
What are you going to do?
To make a short story shorter, I'm going to shoot the Padre with it.
No, you're not. Shoot me, but don't you shoot the Padre.
Yep, I'm going to shoot the Padre with this silver bullet. Then me and the breed's pulling out of here with that wagon load of guns. And you, Button.
I'll go with you. But you don't have to kill the Padre.
I got a reason, kid. Yeah, a good reason. You see, that cavalry will be riding in here sometime this morning to get them guns the Indians got off me and Breed. You savvy?
No, I don't.
Well, when the cavalry rides in here, they're going to find the Padre dead. They're going to want to know who done it. See? The army's like that, you know.
They'll probe out that bullet. I understand now, you filthy buzzard.
Smart kid. Thought you'd understand. Yep, when the cavalry boys find that silver bullet in the Padre's body, they're going to say the Lone Ranger done it. You see? And then when they don't find them guns the Indians left here with the Padre, well, Button, it's going to look mighty bad for the Lone Ranger.
Satan himself wouldn't have you, Trigger.
That's Victor.
Yeah, that's your horse, Button. We got him hitched with Breed's nag to the wagon.
Somebody come. Here, horses.
Yeah, somebody's coming fast, too. Well, I'll finish off the Padre and we'll make a dash out of here pronto.
Horse, run off with wagon.
The wagon. We got to catch him. Catch them horses, Breed. After him, Breed. Come on.
Oh, Silver. Oh, big fellow.
Oh, fella. Oh,
Steady.
fella.
Do you hear that horse whinny, Tonto?
Me hear it.
Silver recognized it. Tonto, it's Victor.
Kimasabi, me here wagon.
Means only one thing, Tonto. Trigger has beaten us to the mission.
Maybe Trigger get away in wagon.
Come on, Tonto. We're going in shooting. Come on, Silver.
Well, Padre, how'd you like that for a real fight?
And the Padre is a man of peace. I'm sorry we had to resort to violence in his presence.
But it was in behalf of peace you did so.
Trigger is not badly hurt, Padre.
And that breed was so scared he hid under the woodshed.
Me find him, pull him out. Him not hurt.
When the cavalry gets here, Trigger and the breed will be put where they cannot disturb the peace of good men again.
What that?
Oh, it must be poor Juan, my devout servant. I had completely forgotten him, poor fellow. He rings the Angelus bell at daybreak. The hour of peace, goodwill toward men.
Steady, Silver.
Steady, Victor.
Oh, Scout. Oh, Father.
Pour forth, we beseech thee, O Lord, thy grace unto our hearts, that we to whom thou...
The story you have just heard is a copyrighted feature of the Lone Ranger Incorporated.
You've been listening to the OTR Gold Network. Find more classic radio at otrgold.com.